Instant Jam is a really fantastic product. It's a music rhythm game. It's similar to the ones that you've seen before with plastic guitars you can play. And in fact, it actually uses any plastic guitar you've already bought. But it's different in a pretty significant way. It's running on your PC or your Macintosh through the browser. It can go to full screen. It's got all the 3D power that your computer can bring to bear. So it's just like a console experience from the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, except because it's on your PC, it's where your music lives. So it gets to actually use all of the music in your library. So here's this free game that we've spent millions of dollars on that uses your music, it uses your computer's power, the guitars you already bought, and now you get to play the songs you really want to listen to. They're in your library. It's not something that somebody else has editorialized for you.
One of the things I really love about Instant Jam is the ability to play with your friends. The game is fully integrated with Facebook and uses many of the same fun social mechanics that all the leading Facebook games have. So while I'm playing the game, I can look down, see my friends bar, and see how all my friends, in my social network are doing at Instant Jam. And there's a bit of, back and forth, some really fun competitive aspects to that.
Essentially what we've done is we've gone through and looked through the last few decades and picked 2,000 plus already of those favorite songs of ours. And we picked pretty well, actually. Rolling Stone did a 500 greatest songs. We had like 400 of them picked. And we've tracked all of these. We've, by hand, used game designers to track different difficulty levels for all of these songs. It's important to note that these are done by hand because when a human being tracks a song, it's very different from any kind of mechanism or any kind of mechanical way of doing it. And the reason that is because a human being knows when to let up a little bit. So they might start off like Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven, and you might be playing a little bit, and then when it gets to a little solo part, it's going to push you just a little bit, make it a little bit harder, and then ease back off again. Designers understand how to do that. It's a je ne sais quoi. It's something that they can actually bring to bear. It's a human side of music. Machines really just don't give you that kind of feel, and so many of these games on the web use algorithms that capture the beat or the melody or even the waveforms. They just don't feel very satisfying. This gaming experience is similar to the ones that you've seen that are of extremely high quality on consoles all over the world and have really become, sort of the love of so many people at parties and social events.
The great thing about the music selection in Instant Jam is that at launch, we will offer 2,000 songs for the player to play. Now, to put that in perspective, that is more songs than Rock Band and Guitar Hero have put out combined throughout their franchise histories. And over time, we will continue to crank out new note charts, going, eventually having tens and then hundreds of thousands of songs for people to play. One of the things that really sets Instant Jam apart from other music rhythm games is the fact that it really uses your music. We don't focus on any one particular genre. We support rock, pop, hip hop, country, world, electronica. If you love it, we probably have it.
What's really great about Instant Jam and the way we use the music is we're really partnering closely with the music industry and making sure that musical artists, publishers, everybody is getting their sort of fair shake here. Our presumption is if you have the song already, then you must have actually acquired it legally. But we do a little bit more than just that. We actually really encourage people to buy songs. So let's say that you type in an artist's name and you see a bunch of songs from there, some of which you have and some you don't. It has a little Get button right next to it. You click the Get button, we pop up a screen, we let you buy it from either Amazon or iTunes, and eventually we'll actually hope to sell them ourselves as well. Well, when you go to purchase that song, you're actually buying it from an already approved retailer, and 70 cents or so goes off back to the music industry. And we feel that's really fair and appropriate because obviously if you're using your music library and you're growing your library, most of that money should go to the music business. That's what you're buying. That song is a free, unfettered song. It works, when I say free, it's free to use. Unfettered song, it becomes part of your library to be used on your MPEG-3 player, your iPhone, whatever. In addition to that, you can also now play it in the game. The game recognizes it, it lets you play whatever song tracks were created with the idea that that would be played in the background, which is really neat. But more than that, we actually give you, when you purchase a song, more than the purchase price of the song's value in in-game currencies and other incentives. So essentially, even though it costs us a little bit, we're actually kind of bribing people. This is the gold mine for this game. We're bribing them to buy music. We really want to change users' behaviors. We want them to go around and legitimately buy music from digital download sites. We think that's really important.
What's really great about working on a game that lives online is that we don't ever really have to be done working on it. And as a game developer, that's always really exciting because we're always planning the next great feature. And we view Instant Jam as more of a service than a product. So we continue to very regularly update the game with new and exciting features. Instant Jam will be available on either Mac or PC. But on top of that, you don't need a cutting edge, high-powered computer to run Instant Jam, even though it has high fidelity 3D graphics. You can actually run it on your little netbook and it'll just work and look great. This is a true game. This is a true rhythm game that will hold up against the most hardcore rhythm games out there, in that we have all the different difficulty levels and we have really high quality note charts. We actually went and contracted some of the members of the Guitar Hero Van Halen team to come and create note charts for us. So we have world-class note charts, but it's presented in a way where the hardcore players can enjoy it, but also the very casual, social, game-friendly players will also love Instant Jam. We have a world-class community management team who will keep very close relationship with our community members and listen to and implement their feedback on a weekly basis. So the songs that people will want will show up in the game, in no time. The features that people want will show up in the game in no time.
I've been asked before, why is it that we made a game around music rhythm when there's so many of them out there on the web for free, and there's a bunch of stuff out there that's great games on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and yet it seems to be dropping in popularity? And the answer is really simple. If you ask anybody, why aren't you playing those games anymore? The first thing they tell you is like, well, I kind of got tired. I mean, I like some of the tracks, but I kind of got tired of not being able to play the music that I like. Well, that's the beauty of Instant Jam. As the library continues to grow, because it's an online game, it can keep growing and growing and growing. You don't pay for any of that. All you have to do is buy the songs, which you're going to buy anyways, because those are your favorite bands. You're going to buy the songs, you want to buy them, and then you get to play them for free at Instant Jam. Nice thing about the instant action technology is we really don't have to push so hard for people to find the games that we make. So we will, of course, have it on instantAction.com. There'll be an instantjam.com. We'll put it on Facebook. We're going to advertise. We're going to do all the things that everybody does when they launch an online game. But even bigger than that, the game is embeddable anywhere because of Instant Action, so you can copy the link and paste it into your own blog. So when you share the game with somebody, and especially if you have like a certain email clients, you can even email the game to somebody. It's really crazy because it's just the link that points to the game and it plays right there in your email, in your blog, in your website. Really, really fantastic. So that ability to distribute the game to all the places people are, instead of having to spend all this money to drive to people to where the game is just a really powerful way of getting the entertainment in the hands of the consumers. What we found with Instant Action, with our last release from LucasArts, was that when people embed a game on their site, the people that are trip upon it, they click on it, they play the game for a little while. Let's say they only played the game for 20 or 30 minutes, or even 5 or 10 minutes. When you look at the average amount of time that people stay engaged on a site, it's very, very small. I mean, seconds. In fact, the amazing thing about Instant Action is it means that if you're writing an article about Instant Jam and you put the Instant Jam game in the article, people are going to stop and play the game for a little bit just to see it. It's free, why not, right? So they're going to play it for a little while. Well, that's great for a website. That's great for a blogger because it means that their metrics, the amount of time people spent on their site. If you're a website, the amount of time you were able to serve all the communications around the game, whether you're doing ads or not, you have that customer captive longer. And so lots of websites are out there saying, how do I go out and hire people to make games that fit with my brand, that'll hold people onto my website? Well, hey, guess what? If you have anything at all to do with music, or you have an editorialism of music, you can use Instant Jam. It's free. You just copy and paste it, and you've got a multi-million-dollar game on your website. So people say, why would anybody do that? It's like, well, they'd be crazy not to, is actually the answer.